Hello and welcome guys. In this video I would like to make some kind of an overview over the Weefun Tina 2 3D printer. This is quite an affordable and easy to start option that could be found on the Amazon. And in today's video, first of all, we are going to unbox it all. I am going to show you everything that is included in the box. Then we are going to set it all up and I will show you how it all works. We also are going to go over some of its main features. Then we're going to test it and print out a range of different models to be able to see the overall quality of printing. And finally, in the end, we will make some conclusions regarding this 3D printer. I have generally tried to make this video informative and useful to you, and will be grateful to anyone who would support my channel. You can do this by giving this video a thumb up and subscribing to my channel. For you, it might take only 30 seconds, but it would be a huge help in development of this channel. But not to hold you for any much longer, let's get started. Enjoy watching, everyone! Alright, let's have to unbox it all first and see what's inside. So, to start off, that's how the box look. Nothing that special, some information here, but that's not so important. Let's have to open it. So, opening there, here, and to start off we have the user manual, we have the unpacking guide, oh that's interesting, and some sort of yellow tape. Okay, the unpacking guide, that's how it look. It's in English, so how you open it all, how you set it up. Duplicated in few languages, French and some others, and the same is probably with the user manual. Alright, let's put it all aside. Then we have some sort of sample filament. It is white PLA. I suppose this is 10 meters sample. Okay, next we have another bag which contains some accessories. To see what they are, I'll probably just put it here like that and quickly show you. So this is the SD card and the reader to have it plugged into the computer. And then here we have some wrenches. And I believe that is the spare nozzle, 0.4 millimeters nozzle. Alright, also to the side, here we have the cable to the power adapter, and there is the printer itself. So let me carefully extract it from the box. Alright. Okay, put the box away, and here it is, the printer itself. All packed quite well, and it is alright. Before that, alright, this is the power adapter. Comes like a usual sort of laptop adapter. Has a switch here, on off. Alright. Brought it to the closer angle, and let's keep going. So let's unwrap this. Okay, we have some notice here, so sticker notice. The yellow sticker is to help the 3D model stick to the surface of the platform. When the sticker is broken or cannot stick to the model, please replace it. Alright, here's some sort of the QR code. So I think it's all removable. Yes, it is. And this is slicer notice. Please use WeBuilder or our custom Cura to slice the model. Using other slicer software may damage the printer. I got the camera in my hand at the moment to be able to show what's inside. Let's see. So inside we have some sort of the protection cardboard, which I have removed now. That's how it looks, and that's how the printer looks inside. This is what it looks like. This is our printing platform and the inner parts. And on the side here we have the place to put the filament on and to insert the filament itself into the printer. Here at the front we have some characteristic of that printer. So we have the WeBuilder slicer, resume printing, eco-friendly filament, one-click filament in, and auto leveling function, which is quite cool for such a small printer, and the magnetic sticker. We're all going to look at it a little bit later. Here at the top we have the slot for SD card. Here is the screen, and that is the thing to move over the screen. That's how it all looks from the side. On the side here we have the, I assume this is to insert the power and connect it to the, insert the cable and connect it to the computer, and this is for the power cable, for the power adapter. And following the instructions on the user manual and unpacking guide, we have to extract this tube and place it in there. Alright. Now let's talk a little bit about the setup process. It is generally quite straightforward and well explained in the user manual and the unpacking guide. To start off, the printer comes fully pre-assembled, so you're literally just few simple and easy steps away from getting to start printing. And for the setup, after you plugged in the power cable, we would need to load the filament. Additionally, I have purchased 1 kg of grey PLA filament, but the standard filament holder wouldn't allow you to store such a big spool of filament, so I have purchased an external filament holder from Amazon. It works pretty well, and in addition to that, even helps to reduce the strain on the extruder, as it allows to roll the filament quite easily. Then you just load the filament into the printer. Afterwards you just select Auto Fit Filament option on the printer and pretty much ready to start working. Just make sure to follow the guidelines from the user manual. This printer has a flexible magnetic bed, which easily allows you to remove your printed models. The dimensions of printing area is 100 by 100 by 120 mm. The printing bed is covered in some sort of yellow tape, which holds the models quite well. For navigation there is the knob and 2.4-inch LCD screen. The menu of the printer is quite intuitive and has all of the needed function. What is for and why is quite well stated in the user manual. The menu of the printer is available in few different languages. You can select the language during the first setup or change it in the control section of the printer. To print your models, you will need to go to the section Print from SD. There already will be some testing models for you to print. Then, in order to print your own models, you will need to download and install the Slicer software, the latest versions of which you can find on the official Weefun website. There are generally two main apps you can use. It is the WeBuilder Slicer and the Cura. The first one is more beginner-friendly, and generally has all of the necessary features to successfully slice your model. The Cura is pretty much the same thing, it just has little more options for precision tuning. In the wiki section of the website you can find few more apps to download, as well as other support information about this printer. Now let's do some print tests. To start off, I have printed few test models which were already supplied with the SD cards, using the included sample filament. This is what I've got in the result. This scattering took around 12 minutes to be printed, and I have generally been quite surprised on the quality of that print. The white color of the plastic makes it quite difficult to show it on the camera, but the layers of the plastic are quite even and accurate, and in general the surface of the ring was quite smooth. Next, I wanted to print something more complicated. It is still one of the testing models that have been provided with the printer, but now it has much more complex shape. This dragon figure I have got in the result. Once again, it is quite a decent quality of printing. The layers on this model were really even. There was one little bug on the back of the head, but it isn't really anything serious. And again, the surface of the figure was quite smooth on touch. Since there is no heating on the bed, the models on this printer require sort of a base to be printed first, but then they could easily be removed without any difficulties. Next, there are gonna be some more examples of the models printed on this printer. The first one is a quick test for the layer accuracy, which turned out to be quite good. The next model is the gear heart. It is also one of the included models, but it was pretty interesting to print. Next model is the articulated fish. It consists of multiple moving parts, which are printed all in one go, and generally the model turned out also to be quite enjoyable. The next thing I have printed is quite interesting. It is actually the 3D scanned mold of my father's hair. He has once ordered himself a pair of custom headphones, and since that time had a 3D model of the mold from which they have been made. And I have decided to print out this model. It has generally turned out to be pretty okay, and it does fit my dad's ear. There I have printed out quite a famous infinity cube. It is also the articulated model that is printed in one go. I have printed it in quite high resolution and it took around 6 hours to be printed. But when it's printed it is totally working and turned out to be pretty good. Here you can more closely look at the general printing quality. The next model is probably one of the most complicated that I have ever printed on this printer. It was printed in 0.1 mm resolution scale, and in some places it turned out to be really smooth, and generally that sculpture has a lot of tiny details. I also wanted to print quite frequently used ZXY calibration cube. This has been printed in 0.1 mm resolution layer. You can view the quality of printing and decide it for yourself, but as for me it is quite impressive. And since I like the Fallout game series, I have printed out myself few logo keychains, one of which I have hand-painted in some sort of metal-like style. And once again, on the quality of printing, it was quite satisfactory. Alright, let's now make some conclusions regarding this 3D printer. So, in general, I have been quite positively surprised with it. It is quite compact, affordable and easy to start option, which in addition provides quite impressive quality of printing. To summarize, some of the strong sides of this printer are: first of all, that it comes fully pre-assembled and tuned by the manufacturer. It has the automatic bed leveling, which throughout the time of use has been quite consistent and generally worked fine. The printer is also quite compact in size and doesn't take much of the space in a room. And lastly, for its price, it produces quite a good quality of printing. I don't really have anything to compare it to, but looking at the similar tests on the internet, it did perform quite decently. Alright, let's now talk about the downsides of this machine. To be honest, there aren't really many of them, and I could generally outline only one significant, which is the noise that it produces during the printing. I wouldn't probably say that it is somewhere extremely loud, but it is noticeable, and sometimes give me an impression that there's an alien disco taking place in it. This sort of mechanical noises are generally natural and come from a little cheaper step-in drivers, which considering the price range of this printer is totally acceptable. The rest of stuff I would rather call some sort of the limitation, the most major of which would probably be the built-in volume of this printer, which in this case is generally not that large, which could potentially limit the selection of models that you can print on it, but overall it is still enough to print a variety of different models. And furthermore, there is a way to sort of overcome this limitation. This could be done by splitting a larger size model into few parts, and then print them out separately. And after you've printed them, you can glue them back together, as I have tried to do with this arm and palm. Again, it isn't something that you would like to do on a regular basis, but could be an option that you can try out if you would need to. Another sort of limitation of this printer for some people could be the limited variety of materials that this printer can work with. Since it doesn't have a heated bed, it doesn't allow you to print with filaments like PTG or ABS. There you can mostly print with PLA and also the flexible TPU filament. But overall, PLA is one of the most frequently used filaments, and generally should cover most of the printing requests. But apart from all of that, I couldn't really find any more major downsides to this printer. So ultimately, I will say that this printer is a good starting option for those who want to try themselves in 3D printing, without at first spending too much money for it, without giving up a lot of space in your room, and without getting hassled with assembly and manual bed leveling. It is generally quite easy to start, compact and affordable option, which also produces quite an impressive quality printed 3D models. But ultimately, it is totally up to you to decide whether or not you need it all. Alright, here I will probably finish. If you liked this video, you found it any helpful, once again I will really appreciate any of your help in development of this channel. You can easily do this by giving this video a thumb up or a thumb down, but better thumb up, subscribing to my channel and activating the bell in order not to miss the new videos coming out on my channel. Also, if you got any question regarding the printer or any other question, feel free to leave them in the comment section and I will try to do my best in order to answer them. But overall, that's it. Thank you all very much for watching. Have a nice day. Bye bye.